Good morning. This is Cecil in Blues. Thank you for joining me for this Final Fantasy XIV video. Today is November 1st and patch 3.45 is released. Primarily, this brings with it big additions to the Palace of the Dead, but there are some other important changes as well, so I'd like to go over those first. Alexander Midas Savage has gained a 15% echo buff that will be applied to the party upon entering the instance. This does not have any impact on Alexander Midas Normal. The next step in the anima weapon chain has been added. This step requires that players gather 50 MacGuffins, which you can purchase with Tomestones of Lore, as well as earn through a daily quest to run Expert Roulette and a weekly quest to run several leveling roulettes. This is an easy step by measure, but it's still rather time-consuming. Based on comments from dedicated players, it looks like they may have this step completed within the day, but if you have other plans for your tomestones, and you'd like to try using only the quests, the daily and the weekly, to complete this, it should take you 3 weeks to complete this step. 10 points for each week, and 1 point for each day, so 3 weeks, 30 points from the weekly, and 21 points from the daily. That should get you your 50 MacGuffins and allow you to press forward. So, not bad. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of the step that had you running the old level 50 24-man raids. So, I like it. I think it's a good balance. It is time-consuming, but it is not grueling. Moving on, there is one class update. The Dark Knight ability Unleash will no longer cancel auto attack in PvE areas. A new sound effect has been added, and it will play when a player uses the countdown command. This new sound is tied to the BGM volume setting in case it's too loud or too quiet for you. You can now access a submenu for an item from its icon displayed in a confirmation prompt. Very minor change. I don't know if it would have any impact on me, but perhaps this will be convenient for some players. There have been a host of bug fixes. I read through them all. They're all very bland. There were things that were broken, and now they aren't broken. There was nothing that jumped out at me as like a kind of a nerf or something in disguise. They are bug fixes. The main dish for this patch is the additional levels of the Palace of the Dead. If you have completed floor 50, then you will have the option of starting on floor 51 anytime you start a new save file for the Deep Dungeon. If you start from floor 51, you will start at level 60 with an empty Pomander inventory. For clearing 10 level increments of the new floors, you will be awarded experience points as you were with the 1 through 50 content. Players at level 50 and above will also earn 30 Poetics. You will earn 50 Poetics for clearing floors 91 to 100. Players at level 60 will also earn 60 Tomestones of Lore and 30 Tomestones of Scripture. For clearing floors 91 to 100, you will receive 100 Lore and 50 Scripture. As an additional reward, when clearing floor 100, you will earn a single Gamorrean potsherd, which is a token item that can be used to purchase items from a vendor. This includes the head mount. What's that? Shoot, now I can't remember the name of the boss from the hard mode boss. But anyway, okay, I should have scripted this out. Moving on. We're moving on. Forget I rambled. Inside the Palace of the Dead, Aetherpool arms and armor can now be enhanced to plus 99. Outside of the Palace of the Dead, when you purchase a new Pajali weapon, it will reduce the strength of your existing Aetherpool arms by 30 instead of resetting the progress fully. Once you have cleared level 100 of the Palace of the Dead, you will have the option to upgrade existing Pajali weapons, and that will cost 60 levels off of your Aetherpool arms and armor. A balance pass has been applied to floors 1 through 50 of the Palace of the Dead. The strength of the Aetherpool arms and armor when synced has been increased on certain floors, and the maximum strength of Aetherpool gear has been increased on all floors. A sync has been applied to all floors as well. This is because with the raising up to 99 strength, beyond the 30 strength, obviously, even at level 50, you would want there to be some limit to how strong the Aetherpool arms can be. And then I believe that 60 is the cap designed for level 100, and so the plus 99, that's for the 101 to 200 content, and we'll get to that in just a second. So a sync has been applied to all floors. Bosses on floors 30, 40, and 50 had been adjusted. They didn't specify whether they had been nerfed or buffed, but I'm going to go with nerfed. They're probably a little bit easier than they were before, because they're old content, and that's just how things go in MMOs. 2 new pomanders have been added, a pomander of raising, which seems pretty self-explanatory, and a pomander of resolution, which I am not sure what that does. It should be possible to be awarded an iron-trimmed, silver-trimmed, and gold-trimmed sack in place of a bronze-trimmed sack when you receive an award from finding the accursed hoard inside the dungeon. These have a higher chance at better loot. Floor 101 and above of the Palace of the Dead are designed to challenge the most skilled players. As a result, this cannot be accessed through the matched party system. In order to access floor 101 and beyond, you must have started in a fixed party at level 1 or level 51 and completed floor 100. You must at this point have a party KO count of 0. And this was not specified, so I'm not entirely certain, but I believe if you ever have a party wipe beyond reaching floor 101, that's the end of your journey. You can't continue once you've had a party wipe. So when a party wipe also includes like disconnects or having to like quit without completing the duty. Any time that you fail the duty, it raises your party KO count by 1, and that will prevent you from progressing into the upper levels of this difficulty, and that is tied into the final system, which is the ranking system. This has solo scores for all classes and a party ranking as well. You can access this by speaking to the Wood Whaler Expeditionary Captain in-game, or you can visit the Lodestone directly. Well, that's it. That's the entire contents of this patch. It is primarily related and surrounding this expansion to the Palace of the Dead. It's a big expansion to it, and so if you enjoy that content, you're going to find a lot here to really challenge you and keep you entertained while we wait for the next patch, which we don't know a lot about yet. I assume we will learn about that as we approach our next fan fest. I assume we'll get something prior to that, in hopefully sometime in late November or early December. There is some additional stuff here. They added new achievements. Almost all of those, from what I could see, were related to Palace of the Dead stuff. New items, most of those are weapons. As you might expect, the new Pajali weapons, as well as the new anima weapons, and the new like copy, the transmog version of your anima weapon. And I know that I saw another orchestration role in there, but I don't know where it came from, and the title of it didn't jump out at me as making sense. I bet it's connected to Palace of the Dead, though, because everything in this patch is connected to Palace of the Dead, so that seems like a safe assumption. Maybe you purchased it off that vendor for that potsherd that I mentioned earlier. That's the extent of my knowledge here. I want to jump into this patch and give it a shot. I would like to see these new levels of the Palace of the Dead at least once. Maybe I can rouse a friend or two. It's fairly early in the morning, but let's see who's around. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit the like button. You can also subscribe to the channel. I'd like to know your experiences. If you're having a good time in the Palace of the Dead, if this is a feature that you want the developers to focus more on or less on, that's valuable feedback for them. So if you have a thought on it, go ahead and start a dialogue down in the comments. You can also follow me on Twitter at It's Boats, and in addition to announcing when I've posted new videos, I also talk about other random stuff. That is me done for the day, I think. I may be a little bit punchy, woke up a little bit early. Caffeine hasn't fully gotten infused in my body yet, so we're going to continue bringing that into me as we load up the game. Thank you once again for stopping by, and I hope you have a good day.